Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome to Black American Lineage. Today, I want to highlight 4 outstanding black doctors who made discoveries that made life better for people all over the world, improved the quality of life and the quality of health care. The first outstanding doctor is Dr. Charles Drew. Dr. Drew was born in Washington, D.C., June 3, 1904. He was an American surgeon and medical researcher. He researched in the field of blood transfusion and developed techniques for storing blood. Dr. Drew became the expert in blood storage. Before him, there was no safe way of storing blood. He also developed a large-scale blood bank. So he had a large-scale mechanism for storing blood. So during World War II, they were able to save a lot of lives because they had the blood ready at hand. Now here's the tricky part. Dr. Drew was working with the Red Cross. Dr. Drew got so mad because they were segregating the blood. They were segregating the black blood from the white blood. Now he came up with the whole system, and he knew that there was no reason for separating the blood because there's no difference. So he got so mad because the Red Cross insisted on segregating the blood that he quit. So he came up with the technology in the first place. But then once other people got involved in it, they're going to find a way to segregate and practice racism. So Dr. Drew just threw up the deuce and quit. Now World War II was over in 1945. But the Red Cross did not change their system for segregating the blood until 1950. And what we can say about Dr. Charles Drew is that he was a man of integrity. He had respect for himself and for his people. The next outstanding doctor is Otis Boyle. I don't think he was actually a doctor, but I just made him a doctor. Otis Boyle is best known for inventing the pacemaker. Now we all know about somebody who has a pacemaker or used to have a pacemaker. It is definitely a life-saving device, just like blood storage. So Otis Boyle is the inventor of the pacemaker. In the early 1960s, he was a senior project engineer at the Chicago Telephone Supply Corporation, later known as CTS Labs. It was here that he did much of his pacemaker research. He subsequently sued CTS for $5 million, asserting that his former employer had obtained a patent and tried to take credit for the device that he developed. Now y'all see what I mean when I keep talking about intellectual theft. People really try to steal other people's inventions, and this as an employer. So that means either the owner of the company or his boss tried to steal his invention. So he had to sue somebody for trying to steal his intellectual property. But thankfully, he was successful and he got credit. He got it back. After the lawsuit was eventually dismissed and his career at CTS had ended, he opened his own consulting and research company with offices in both the United States and Paris, France. So, see y'all, I'm telling you, we have to really be careful, don't we? So the company, the Chicago Telephone Supply Corporation, sounds like they were the ones trying to steal his invention because it says he ended his relationship there. So they fired him because he took them to court for $5 million. And I'm pretty sure they had to settle with him. So he most likely got millions just from them trying to steal his property. And then he made more money when he was able to patent it. Kudos for Otis Boyle for not letting somebody get away with that kind of intellectual theft. As a sidebar, Otis Boyle had 26 patents for different things that he had invented. So he was really a genius and an outstanding inventor and a man of integrity. You don't get to steal my property. Our next outstanding doctor is Dr. KY Corbett, and she invented the Moderna vaccine for COVID-19. At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Corbett started working on a vaccine to protect people from coronavirus disease, recognizing that the virus was similar to severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. Corbett's team utilized previous knowledge of optimal coronavirus proteins to tackle COVID-19. So she is an immunologist, so she works on the treatment and prevention of disease. Now, this was something that I found interesting about her, and this comes from the Washington Post. In May of 2020, the Washington Post reported that Corbett had been scrutinized for tweets lamenting the lack of diversity on the White House Coronavirus Task Force, as well as for her responses to other tweets about data that African Americans were disproportionately dying from the virus. Responding to a tweet in which someone else claimed that the virus is a way to get rid of us, Corbett responded, "Some have gone as far as to call it genocide. I plead the fifth." Fox News host Tucker Carlson read several of Corbett's tweets on his show, accusing her of spouting lunatic conspiracy theories. Another Fox News article said she adopts a strikingly casual and conspiratorial tone. After the controversy, Corbett scaled back her use of social media and stopped appearing on television. Well, the main takeaway from all of this was that she was concerned about the lack of diversity on the White House Coronavirus Task Force. Black people know that other black people can do the work, and they will stack the staffs with a lot of white people, sometimes people who are just there and don't know what they're doing, but, nepotism and favoritism. And so, yes, I think it's important that she voiced her concern that there were not enough black people working on that task force. So good for her. The last outstanding doctor is Dr. Percil Julian, born April 11th, 1899. He was an American research chemist and a pioneer in the chemical synthesis of medicinal drugs from plants. He was the first to synthesize the natural product physostigmine, and I'm sure that's not right, and was a pioneer in the industrial large-scale chemical synthesis of the human hormones progesterone and testosterone from plant sterosis. His work laid the foundation for the steroid drug industry's production of cortisone, corticosteroids, and birth control pills. These are major drugs that are used all over the world, and they improve the quality of life in many ways in terms of countries where women do not have access to any kind of birth control, to people who are suffering from pain, and these steroids offer a multitude of benefits. Steroids increase muscle mass, they reduce inflammation and pain, they improve athletic performance. We often hear about athletes on steroids, and steroids treat other medical conditions. So in a way, steroids could be considered miracle drugs because they have so many uses, and all of those uses improve quality of health and quality of life. Percy Julian received more than 130 chemical patents, and during his lifetime, he was awarded many honors and awards. He was one of the first African Americans to receive a doctorate's degree in chemistry. So these are just four of the outstanding African American doctors / inventors that we need to know about. Y'all probably already know about most or all of them, but repetition is good for learning. And we all know now that it is very important for us to talk up our history, because we see now that, there's an effort to erase our history. And it won't be erased as in erasing the fact that cortisone or birth control pills or the pacemaker or preserving blood, they're not going to throw that away. They're just going to give credit to it to somebody else. So it is important, as much as we dig up about our past, about our history, about our present, the more we need to talk about it and put it out there, because people are not above doing what? Stealing your intellectual property. So I salute these four outstanding innovators: Dr. Charles Drew, Otis Boyle, KY Corbett, and Dr. Percil Julian. Hats off to these great African American individuals. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting this channel. I'm already over 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.